In his 1756 book about playing the violin, Leopold Mozart mentioned the practice of carving a lion head on a violin. Why? Such fancy-looking instruments sold better than the ordinary ones. The great father of the great son laughed. The beautifully curled lion's head can improve the tone of the violin just as little as a curled wig can improve the intelligence of the wig wearer. But let's not condescendingly sniff at the lack of critical thinking in the late 18th century. Are we really any better in the early 2000s? Well, if we don't read more, then we aren't. No reading, no critical thinking if there is any thinking at all. However, should we and our little ones dare to read? What are the benefits? When reading, we learn new words and grammar structures. Children who don't read will never match linguistically their reading peers, and great speakers are usually great readers. When reading, we think new thoughts. Most inventors and innovators are usually avid readers and, as children, loved books. Reading is possibly the biggest component of academic success. Reading activates our imagination to the extent the screen will never do. Through the screen, we passively consume the images thrown at us, usually at a speed exceeding our thoughtful analyses. The reader is a creator. Out of 26 or 33 letters, in English and Ukrainian respectively, and a few punctuation marks, we create our own world at our own pace. So, whenever somebody says that this is more conducive to your child's development than these, they either don't know what they're doing or they are lying to you. Writing is a natural overflow of reading. Readers of stories will inevitably want to write their own ones, and those who struggle with writing typically do so for the deficit of reading. People who read are more difficult to manipulate and lie to. Dictators and populists thrive when citizens don't read. When reading, we communicate with the past and learn from its wisdom. Some stories are older than the pyramids, the Wall of China, the United States of America. The wisest people of all ages are ever alive in the reader's world. Ignoring the voices of the past, we impoverish the present and damage the future. When we read, we stand on the shoulders of giants. Without reading, we turn into dwarfs. Readers tend to make the world more beautiful, not uglier. The number of new prisons in 15 years' time depends on 10-year-olds' reading rates today. The more children read, the fewer prisons we'll need. Albert Einstein was asked how to bring up smart children. If you want your child to be intelligent, read them fairy tales. If you want them to be more intelligent, read them more fairy tales, was the answer. Finally, a curious little boy lost his sight when playing with his father's tools and ended up in the country's only school for the blind, whose library stored the biggest treasure of all, books with the raised font which even the blind children could touch read. But the embossed letter technology was so expensive that there were only 14 such books. Just 14 treasure chests full of stories. Not fair. From then onwards, the kind, curious boy devoted his life to ensuring that even the blind could read any book in the whole wide world. Now, take a banknote, touch a lift button, feel a plug at a tourist attraction. Louis Braille, the boy who lost his sight, is there through his system of the raised dots. Thanks to Louis, the lives of the millions have improved, or rather, thanks to the books Louis was so desperate to read. Books and reading make the world better. See you on the Planet of People in September 2023.